Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Stormphrax, and this is Total War Warhammer. Creative Assembly has finally gotten it right. They've finally taken a much-needed step in the right direction. Their decision to step away from reality and delve into a lore-rich universe such as Warhammer was really smart on the design part. And let me start by saying, they freaking nailed it.
In the game, there are 5 different playable factions. The Empire, the Dwarves, the Greenskins, the Vampire Counts, and Chaos, and each one is extremely unique. Everything from the user interface down to who you can even become friends with is thematically unique to each faction. Even what towns and cities you can inhabit is determined by your faction. Dwarves and Greenskins can only inhabit holds, while humans, Vampire Counts, and the rest of the factions, excluding Chaos, can only inhabit cities. Chaos uses what's known as a horde system, such as what was used in Total War Attila, if you played that. So they kind of have like this moving city that kind of just moves around. So they don't actually ever inhabit any one place in particular. You can, of course, raid the cities and holds that you can't inhabit, and actually that's where a new feature comes in. You see, if you decide to raise a settlement, you're not just destroying or, heavily damaging many or all of the buildings like in previous games. You actually end up destroying the entire settlement. It becomes uninhabitable. Now, this settlement can be built back up again and become a settlement again, but it does cost a lot of troops to do so. Combat feels as good as ever. When forces clash, it actually looks and feels impactful. With the variety of units available to each faction, the options you have in combat are near endless. Send your grave bats to harass the enemy and break their lines before charging in with your crypt ghouls and skeletons. Sit back on top of a hill and just pepper them with mortar fire while your griffins attack their back lines. Or maybe just have a massive army of orcs and you just want to say go and watch them just mow over everything. Generals in this game are much more impactful and a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. They can take out entire squads by themselves and are the conduit by which you cast your spells. And with the talent tree, they become nigh on unstoppable. And the forces they command are just immensely more powerful. Almost, I feel, to the point of being a little overpowered. The vast variety of spells that are available to use in combat make it even more interesting, with ways to massacre your enemies and buff your allies. And while each faction does have spells that are unique to them, many are pretty much exactly the same or very similar. They've just been thematically changed to fit each individual faction. Magic is balanced out by the fact that you have to roll the dice for the winds of magic, and this determines how much magic you have to use for each battle. Sometimes you'll have lots, sometimes you'll have hardly any. And basically what this does is it ensures that you can't just spam out some really powerful spell and just demolish an army that you wouldn't otherwise have been able to defeat. Graphically, this game looks amazing. From the vast variety of the world map to the details in the units themselves, this game hosts some of the best, if not the best graphics in a Total War to date. Each environment is unique, and the underground portions, in my opinion, are some of the best looking. Diplomacy's in the game, of course, but now it just feels like more of a way to just postpone war while you plan to destroy them later. It feels pointless to try and become friends with any faction that will even let you, since factions really only become friends with others of the same race, because it's always more profitable to just destroy them and just take over their territory. My one main complaint about the game, and really the only thing that brings it down a notch in my eyes, is that it felt way too easy. Granted, I was playing on normal difficulty, but the difficulty of this normal versus previous games is vastly different. Time and again, I found myself becoming so powerful so quickly that no other faction stood a chance. It felt like all the other factions were incredibly weak. Even the ones that were supposed to be really strong, like they're really high on the scoreboard, I ended up just bowling over them, just auto-resolving my way through their entire faction until they were destroyed. By turn 40 in my playthrough as the Greenskins, I was almost never manually fighting any battles. I was able to just auto-resolve my way through almost everything and come out on top with acceptable losses. And even when I did take heavy losses, I was making so much money that recruiting more troops barely put a dent in my wallet. Mid to late game, if you make smart decisions, you become so powerful that everyone else around you is a joke. All in all, Total War Warhammer is a striking success, with really only minor issues that can be fixed with either patches or in the next game. It's a breath of fresh air and brings hope for things to come. My final verdict for Total War Warhammer is an 8 out of 10.
I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a like and comment down below. And if you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Until next time, guys, have a good day.